Hi, I'm Hayley Bird, co-founder and delivery director at Quantum Rise Talent Group. And today I'm going to be focusing on how you can use virtual collaboration tools to develop agile skills, create engagement, and drive productivity across hybrid teams. So, in recent years, and mainly since the pandemic, there's been an increase in demand for agile and human skills training to really develop leaders who manage hybrid teams. And LinkedIn's latest learning report shows a huge growth in demand for skills, including interpersonal skills, which is up 73%, problem solving, which is up 57%, and people management skills, which is up 57%. So, in the recent training sessions that I've delivered, when it comes to managing and supporting remote and hybrid teams, I've heard the same pain points from managers around this topic coming over time and time again. So I wanted to put this recording together really just to talk about some of the common pain points of how managers are feeling when managing remote and hybrid teams, but also some of the virtual collaboration tools that I've tried, tested, and shared with these teams within this training. So, what we're finding is managers are having to overcome their own proximity bias. They're having to challenge themselves to think about this is where I prefer to spend my time. What impact is this having on the wider team dynamic? Managers are also feeling this fear of a loss of productivity, and that's a perceived loss of productivity that comes with hybrid teams and not being able to see what people are doing and hear about what people are doing on a more regular ad hoc basis. A lack of trust is started to develop in some teams and individuals when it comes to kind of outcome related conversations and actually what's the output? What is it that you're doing today? Can I trust you to do that without being in the office? And a big one is maintaining positive working relationships as well amongst teams. But one of the main pain points I'm hearing is around effective collaboration remotely for hybrid teams. So, how can people work together remotely to be as productive as possible? And it's so important for team productivity. And our own bias can impact how we prefer to collaborate and where we prefer to work with our teams. And this then can mean that we're making assumptions around the effectiveness of remote and hybrid working in a broader scale. So, I wanted to share today some simple but effective collaboration tools that you can use virtually as a manager. And these can be used for hybrid teams or remote teams to really maximize impact of those conversations or meetings that you're having, but also open up more diversity of thought amongst the team. So, every single person is included, whether they're working on site, whether they're in the office, whether they're working remotely. So, do you find as a manager that you often hear from the more talkative people in the room? And I think often it's quite common for us to get loads of engagement and loads of conversation from the more extroverted people in the room. But the tools that I'm going to share with you today open up a new opportunity to hear from the quieter half of the population. And they offer opportunities for people to just stop, reflect, and build on each other's ideas in the room. So, virtual collaboration tools can actually really help to aid communication, to aid collaboration, to support wider problem solving, create engagement, fostering a good culture, and driving productivity across the teams. But we just need to know where to start. So, I'm going to share with you a few of the simplest tools that I've used and introduced to other hybrid managers, as well as using them in training teams for coaches, managers, facilitators across a wide range of organizations. And these are some of the ones that have landed most in the most helpful way possible. So the first one is a technique that we use called chat, hold, and send. So this is so simple. This is just where you ask your team members a question. You ask them to put their answer into chat, but don't press enter and send it in. So they've all have an answer prepared in the chat. I then ask people to raise their hands when they're ready to send their answer in. And then I get everybody to send their answers in together once every single person's hand is raised. What you end up getting here as a manager is a response from every single person in the team, wherever they're located, wherever they are. And it adds so much more breadth and diversity of thought amongst your team. And for you as a manager, gives you wider perspective as well on your key priorities. The second tool is using integrated polls. So pre-prepare some questions and polls that you might like to ask your teams. It could be something about the next social that you're going to organise. It could be an opportunity for people to reflect on any challenges or barriers they see with something that you've just talked about. Whatever the questions are, plan them in advance and integrate them into your meeting, whether it's a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting, you can do so on both. And then what that means again is quite often they can be anonymous as well. So it means that people who maybe aren't as as comfortable to speak up are more likely to put their answers in. And again, you're increasing the diversity of thought across the team and hearing from everybody in the room. The third collaboration tool that we use often is whiteboards. Now, most people love whiteboards for collaboration because they're a great way to get everyone involved and to collaborate. When you're using a whiteboard, though, you have to be really specific in terms of the outcome. Make sure that the question people are answering is written on the whiteboard, or the outcome that you want to achieve at the end of the activity is written on the whiteboard. And then this just gives really clear and well explained instructions, so you're more likely to get the output that you need. But you've got your full team's involvement again, and you could put them into smaller breakout rooms for greater impact. The final thing that I want to share with you today is the importance of planning in questions. So, by shifting your mindset from, I must share all this information with you today and work my way through this agenda, shift your mindset to, what do I need the outcome of this meeting to be? What involvement do I want from people? What questions can I ask people to really get everybody's input? And by planning in questions, you're naturally going to create a more collaborative environment and a more inclusive environment because you're asking regularly for people's opinions. Okay, so there's my top 4 tips, the ones that I think have the greatest impact when it comes to managing hybrid and remote teams. If you'd like more, or you'd like to experience some of this in a live learning environment, we run regular sessions for managing hybrid and remote teams. And you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn, Hayley Bird, or you can visit our website at www.quantumrise.co.uk. Thank you.